Alright guys, welcome back to the Punisher's Paintball channel. Thank you for joining us today. This has been a highly requested video of the LV2 from Planet Eclipse versus the CS3. So you guys are finally getting what you wished for. Today we're going to do this comparison. Got a little bit of shooting portion, a little bit of talking. Going to do the whole rundown just like we used to. You guys know the drill. So if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you actually click like on the video, drop a comment, and when you're done watching, use the link in the description to buy either one of these bad boys from Punisher's Paintball.
I'm so free.
Alright guys, so here we are. We have the Planet Eclipse CS3 that I will be taking. This is actually my personal CS3. Doug, you've got a brand new LV2 there, I see.
The Onslaught colorway. So
Onslaught,
yeah, let's I guess just dive right on into it here. These are two like absolute heavy hitters. So this is going to be a close one, guys. This is really going to probably come down to a lot of personal preference, but without any further ado, we're going to start with some packaging. Alright. These both do come with a box and sleeve kind of deal, all that, so we all know how we feel about boxes and sleeves.
This one will come with a box, guys, but I actually got this one used, so I don't have a box.
It's fine. They both come with this same shit.
We're still catching up on back orders when it comes to...
yeah, you guys cleaned us out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do Joel's favorite thing.
Plus the box.
So, case is exactly the same. So this is going to be a wash for these two cases.
That is correct.
Because it's the same manufacturer. So I guess really we can kind of skip right to
so packaging is going to be
packaging
is going to be a tie, guys.
Just to let you guys know what's in it though, you get like literally everything. This nice full color manual that Joel's in love with from Planet Eclipse.
And the nice dye carbon fiber backs. Just kidding. Those are mine.
Yes, you will get your S63 barrel tip and back, and it comes with only what, two inserts?
Two inserts, 685, 689.
You'll have room though for three more that you can purchase. So they store right in here. Has this nice little strap to hold down this middle portion. It is attached, but you know, if you want to keep it to one side or the other, you can do that. Nice, yeah. Full wrench kit, which is awesome. Planet Eclipse has good wrenches, thankfully. And then you get lube. You will also get oil with your LV because different parts require different forms of lubricant. So here's your oil right here. Here is your barrel stock that also comes in this bad boy, which is awesome. Oh, this little parts kit that Joel also loves because it's labeled. You get your heavy rammer and light rammer, which I believe the light rammer is what's in this bag. It always comes with the heavy rammer in the gun.
And for the CS3, I'd like to point out that the CS3 is going to come with both the soft tip and the hard tip.
And the hard tip.
Yeah, so
really, you really do get a pretty good one-for-one with each of these things.
You do,
pretty sweet. So that is ultimately a wash. It's the same manufacturer, just two different products.
So the same thing with the barrel, guys, is the exact same barrel. You're going to get the S63 barrel system. It's a three-piece barrel system.
It's currently probably one of my favorites because it's the longest control bore on the market that I've seen. So I really like it.
So 685 and 689, and then you can purchase like a 681 as well as a 677 if you'd like to. For that, obviously it's going to be a wash, but yes, S63 barrel system is super nice. It still has that FL sleeve, which is super cool, so you can customize if you'd like to.
So yeah, extra grip.
14.5 inches total. Really good porting, so the sound signature is very good on
Yes, I would agree with that. These do sound pretty cool. In general, my only complaint with the S63 is I'm not a huge fan of how it points because it's really chunky in the middle and then it gets skinny. But functionally, I love that it's got the longest control bore. That's awesome. So really, next it's going to come down to feed neck.
Same thing. Tie.
It's literally the same thing. And with Planet Eclipse, they're all offset to the left a little bit.
Next is eyes. So
that'll be different.
Yeah, so that is different, and I definitely have a preference on this. So, guys, with the eyes on the CS3, you are going to have the lower board, which has a reflective portion on your eye cover here, and it is going to reflect. So there is no cables with this. It's very similar to the CS2 technology, as well as the 170R.
All that good stuff. I have this unhinged. I'm just trying to get it actually like unclipped. This is a new gun, and I don't do PE stuff a whole hell of a lot. Trying to get this back off here. Oh wait, it's this little tab you gotta grab. There you go.
It's alright, Doug. That makes it easier sometimes. But yeah, so what Doug is going to show you guys here in just a split second. I'll start talking since he's still
struggle busting.
Here, give it to me.
I got it. I grabbed onto this thing. There we go. So then, to get to these, after you take your toolless grips off, which are actually simple if you're not an idiot like myself, you got this little guy. I'm gonna hold on to this for a second. So this whole covering right here is your eye cover. You're gonna pull back on this clip, and then that'll come right off. You still have cable eyes on this thing, which yes, it works. It has always worked, but it's a little bit more to pinch. So I on that one, I'll actually probably agree with the CS3 being kind of superior.
Yes.
For the eyes.
Yeah.
Just less room for things to go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So what's really cool is with the eye covers on the CS3, you can just take this off and wipe this off, and that's all you gotta do to clean your eyes. So it's very straightforward. There is
more
like
involved with this.
yeah, there is a little hole right there on the side of the gun where the reflection goes through, and obviously, like if paint or whatever gets in that hole, it's going to cause the the connection to cause an eye fault, basically.
Cause a short, I guess, right?
Yeah, short. Yeah, so you're gonna want to make sure that that's clean. But that's with any eye, is that it's gonna have a hole in the metal for it to go through.
Broken paint's gonna happen. It's just a matter of how much.
But I definitely think that the CS3 eyes win.
I would agree with that entirely.
All right, next up, Doug, we're talking about battery changing between the two.
So for me, that would also be just getting this back grip off as well. So I'm not going to do that again, but I would argue it's probably easier. I already got it almost fully assembled.
All right, guys. So the proper way to do this is there's a little tab here at the bottom. Pop that off, and then just get underneath like this. Super simple for some people. This is a 9-volt battery, and easy to change that out, except for Doug. Doug might struggle with that a little bit. And then it just pops back into place like this. I have noticed that with the LVs, the left side is a little bit easier to pop in than the right side, because there's like 2 little tabs here at the top that can be kind of a little bit of a pain, and then it just kind of goes into place like that. Boom,
And you lock it.
And you lock in.
Pop, lock, and drop it.
Now with the CS3,
It is powered by different batteries.
it is, yes. So you actually get 2 AA batteries like this, and you can see how simple that was for me to do. Those just
Do they go
pop
in the
into
same
place.
direction, or do they go in opposite
They
directions?
go in opposite direction, and it's right there on the side. Right there on the side for you. So that's super simple.
As long as you
pops
can
into
read,
place.
then
As
you're
long
good
as
to
you
go.
can read.
But yeah, no, I'd argue that is the easier one to
It
change
is.
the batteries.
It is.
As far as battery operation, whatever, 9-volt versus AA. There
I
is the
prefer
argument that they'll be like, oh, it's better because you only have to buy 1 pack of batteries and worry about it once, which I can understand. But as strictly changing, I still think the CS3 is a little bit easier than the LV2.
Yeah,
a little less
yeah.
involved.
Yep.
Trigger, CS3.
Yep.
Yeah, I like LV2 trigger's fine. I think what helps it is how nice the shot is, like how much I like the actual shot. But trigger itself and how it's more adjustable in the CS3 too, isn't it?
No, I think it's about the same amount of adjustment. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 5-way adjustable. And
I don't know if this
believe
one's 5-way.
1, 2, 3, 4. It is 5-way adjustable on that as well. So you're going to be able to adjust spring tension, magnetic tension, pre-travel, post-travel, as well as when your micro switch activation screw. Same thing on both of these, but I will agree. The CS3, the actual mechanism here is different than that. So that takes the 1R style triggers. If you're, I say 1R because like everyone knows the infamous deuce triggers.
It's a
But there's
trigger
like
face and a trigger shoe.
Yes, exactly. Now, that is true for the CS3 as well, but it's a different design, and what I've noticed is that this seems to be a little bit smoother, whereas like with that, it's a little bit like, I don't know how else to say it besides crunchier.
Yeah.
It's not as smooth.
A little clickier, a little clackier.
I would agree. The CS3, in my opinion, wins as far as trigger, and you can still get, triggers, different deuce triggers and all that stuff, because the CS2 triggers will fit.
I don't know of as many for the LV2 just yet. Is there 1 deuce out that I know of, maybe?
Well, you can use the one
Yeah,
and the
the-
Raptor and the
Yes.
Raptor trigger. So there is deuce triggers for that. So, but I'm still going to give it to the
I
CS3
am
because okay. Board/programming.
It's going to be it's the same thing.
So what's cool is they have updated it. So it's much more higher resolution. It's
You get
black
this
and white.
Shiny OLED.
And you got a nice LED, so you can tell, when the eyes are activating a ball or sensing a ball, and when the eyes are off, and all that stuff. So same thing with the LV. So really not much there that's going to be different. Only thing would be like we have programming here. So I guess right now would be a good time to talk about like tuning, I guess, because
There you go. You can tune your LV2 shot more so than your CS3.
a lot.
That's kind of that is a big draw to the LV2. Is really it kind of harkens back to what paintball used to be. You could tinker with guns back in the day and really mess with how they shot.
Yep.
You can't do that with most of these guns that are kind of out of the box, plug and play.
Yeah, you cannot do that.
It is a lot simpler. I think we're getting dumber as a society, myself included. But LV2 is one of the last standing dinosaurs where you can actually really mess with the shot and kind of personalize it. So I would say programming, we should actually probably give that to the LV2 because you
100%,
can do more with it.
Because like this is going to be relatively dwell insensitive, whereas that like you can adjust the dwell, adjust the SFRs, put the light rammer in it, put the heavy rammer in it, adjust the LPR, and your dwell is going to come into play with that. Whereas like with the CS3, it's not going to come into play as much. So like there's not much that you can do when it comes to tuning the CS3. It is what it is. Obviously, it's a great shooter,
Yep.
Especially for the price point. You know, like it's that high-end performance that you're looking for. Now with the LV2, all the programming, like you can do a bunch of different stuff. You know, you can basically make the shot snappier if you want to. If you want to make it smoother, you can. All that stuff. Higher rates of fire, lower rates of fire, all that stuff.
All of that. So
ASA?
ASA, is this? No, this is still the bigger block.
Ooh.
So I guess technically we really could give it to the CS3 because this is still that big block pops.
So I'm actually going to disagree on that. I'm going to disagree. I like this. I like this more than the CS2. Now with the CS2, it was similar to that, but the regulator was here.
Right.
So you had to pop it into place. The CS3 now has like, it's just on the outside here.
That's why you like it more.
And the regulator velocity adjustment screw is always accessible, whether it's engaged or disengaged, whereas with the CS2 you didn't have that. But I will say that is like for a guy with larger hands, I like the fact that it's bigger. It reminds me kind of to the slap ASA of the die gun.
Yeah.
Whereas like this is not as good for big hands because like you really gotta get your thumb in there to pop it.
That's fair.
In and out. So I'm gonna give the ASA actually to the LV2.
I would tend to agree because I was getting ready to disagree. Is I was like, oh, we're probably gonna go with that one because I know what you're gonna. But no, I actually like this as well. It's just more to hold on to. It's easier to engage it too because I can just use my whole finger here and pull it on as opposed to like this tiny little thing. So I would also give it to the LV2.
All right, Doug. Ergonomics.
Ergos. CS3.
Really?
I would CS3. Yep.
Okay.
It fits me better. I think it's going to fit more people better.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's just a less big and obstructive gun. The LV2, while it shoots amazingly, it's a big boy. It is a big top-heavy boy because it's a stack tube marker is what it is. Whereas this is only a single tube marker over here with the CS3.
Yep.
So for me, ergonomics, balance, and all that, I am going to give it to the CS3.
Now for me, that's a really tough thing. So I actually would say I prefer, as a bigger guy, I actually prefer the feel of the LV2. It is a bigger gun, but I like that.
It fits you.
It fits me. With that said, the only thing that I'm going to disagree is that, or prefer the CS3 over the LV2, is that the trigger frame in the back is a lot chunkier, whereas the CS3 is a lot slimmer. Now for me, the overall feel of the foregrip on this I like better compared to the CS2. The only thing is that the angle of the trigger frame on the LV2 is more vertical, whereas the CS3 they actually changed the angle
To be more of like a 45.
to be more of a 45. And what I found is the only reason I'm not using the LV2, I'm using the CS3, is because when I pull up, because of the greater angle, my barrel tends to aim up a little bit. So for that reason, I'm picking the ergonomics on the CS3.
Do you feel like that aiming up
reason.
helps you get shots downfield for
Yes,
great shots?
yes, because me as a back player, when I pull up my first 3 balls, like if I'm shooting short for somebody, I have to nail those first 3 balls. With the LV2, my natural inclination, because the back trigger frame here was more vertical, was to pull and my barrel's pointing down just the ever so slightest, whereas with the CS3, my natural inclination when I pull up is that my barrel's aiming up ever so slightest, and for that reason, the ergonomics on the CS3 fit me better. But like overall, I really love
point to it. Would you give a point to the LV2?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna end up tying on that one. My phone's shut. Sorry, we have our whole list pulled up here.
Wait.
So it's ergos. Wait, here we go. All right. And these both, as you've heard, guys, do have a battery in them already.
Go ahead, Doug. LV2 with battery. LV2 with battery, 2.21 pounds. 2 pounds, 2.1 ounces. Batteries in the CS3, 1 pound, 15.0. So the CS3 is about an ounce lighter than like the M3 Plus, And the LV2 is going to be probably the heaviest high-end marker there is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The thing is a tank.
It is a tank.
So.
It is a tank. All right, so weight, CS3 wins. Maintenance between the two.
I'll give it to the CS3. It's going to require less work than the LV2.
I'm going to give it to the LV2.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's why. They made huge progress from the LV 1.6 to the LV2. So this the time that I'm talking to you, Doug, I'm going to disassemble the rammer. I'm going to disassemble the LPR and the HPR. Okay.
All toolless.
All toolless.
Nothing.
Now, HPR on this.
Oh yeah, no.
2 screws.
Yeah, no.
So, and they're both Planet Eclipse guns.
Right.
They're going to be super reliable, but if you ever want to lube your LPR and the HPR, this is toolless. The rammer is toolless, right? All that. So I'm going to go LV2 for that reason. Most people probably aren't doing this.
That's true.
Me, because I do this shit all the time, I'm going to pick the LV2. So that's one thing I've noticed is like the LV2, like you couldn't do that with the LV 1.6.
That's true. Yeah, that was you had to actually unscrew the whole thing.
Right. So
look how easy that was.
I'm gonna go LV2 for that reason. And let's be honest, who's actually like maintenance in the HPR and the LPR and all that?
Probably very few people.
Very rarely.
From my end of it though, which one can you really like beat up on more? You think it's
I think it's a wash, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a wash. I've been using this one. I've used the LV2 before. Like you could probably.
You played an XL Philly with that.
I did, yeah. You could go either. I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But strictly from a maintenance perspective.
After that demonstration, I'll
Sorry, I'm not trying to sway, but like I work on these guns all the freaking time, so that's why.
No, that's.
I realized like, I need Allen keys to service the HPR on this. On that, I don't.
You don't at all.
So for whatever that's worth.
Next up, build quality reliability. It's Planet.
Yes.
The only argument that I ever have with the LV2 as far as like reliability is just so Sunshine Major 2021 went down. I was watching Impact versus I can't remember who, but J-Rab always shoots the LV platform markers. Mm-hmm. He got sand like here, like up here in through his bolt assembly or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's going to be easier to get crap in your actual bolt because it is that like kind of open back like setup here. Outside of like pretty extreme conditions, I feel like it's not really going to make that much of a difference. So Agreed. I would say it's kind of a wash.
Yeah, you do bring up a good point though, because you can get. I've seen paint, I've seen dirt, I've seen sand all get in
the breach
in the actual rammer portion of this, as compared to this. You're not going to be able to.
It's fully sealed. Right?
It's fully sealed. Yeah.
So maybe for that we could give the point to the CS3.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah.
Tech support.
Planet Eclipse. They're at every event that I've been to. Are they easy to work with from a selling standpoint? Yeah, I would say Planet Eclipse is pretty good with that.
Upgradability.
Oh. Which one has more triggers that you can get for it? That's about like because like this
Neither
has
one of them.
both rammers, this has both bolts. That's kind of I'm just gonna give both of them 0.
Give them 0 or give them both 1s. Either or.
Shot quality. So this is where we start getting into the going outside portion, guys. It's terrible outside today. I actually recently went outside and did a side-by-side shooting comparison of both of these guns. It was actually these two literal exact guns. I pulled this one off the wall and I grabbed Joel's gun and went and shot it. So we're going to talk about that here today. I'll still totally include the shooting portion for you guys. So I'm going to turn this thing on here and get some shoot. Cool. All right, let's get some chrono action going here. First shot. No. 270, 290, 270. All right, I'll call that roughly 280. That's fine. A little cool out here, so I'm not surprised there's a little bit of variance, but let's get some shots here and see how it feels. All right, I think I get the gist of how this bad boy is going to shoot today. But next, I'm going to pick up my Planet Eclipse Onslaught LV2. This is actually new here at the shop. That black one is Joel's personal marker. So I'm just going to turn this bad boy on. This could be one of yours. All right, make sure we're up and running here. Awesome. All right, let's get some chrono going. This is going to come in around 270, 300, 290, 280. All right, once again, A little all over, but these guys are still both kind of in the same ballpark as one another, so I'm fine with it. Let's shoot this, shall we? All right. Shot quality wise, dude, LV2 for me.
Yeah.
I like the way that shot feels
Agreed.
more than the CS3.
Agreed.
Just soft. You can't even feel the thing operate. And this, so we already said we hate the trigger on this. Even despite hating the trigger pull on this thing, shooting it, it just makes up for it. Mm-hmm. It really does. So.
Yep. CS3 is a great shooter. I like the way that it shoots better than CS2.
It's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just there's a lot more right with the LV2.
LV2's like one of the smoothest guns I've ever shot.
Yep.
I mean, it's wicked.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to shoot fast. Like, if you guys haven't seen our LV2 brittle paint test.
Yeah, we started ripping that thing. Yeah.
Oh my God, I was slinging 15 balls a second of pro char. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
So paint handling, I mean, I'll say the LV2 might be a little more gentle.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Like, I don't know. I haven't shot enough brittle paint through the CS3 yet to make that judgment call. When I had the launch edition that I had,
we were shooting 5-star down a cup.
That's true.
In the rain, and it was fine.
Yeah, that's true. So
I would say they're both very, yeah. I'll wash that.
Ooh,
efficiency. Would that be the CS3?
So the CS3, we did a CS2 versus CS3 side by side, like exact same variables, same paint, same barrel, and all that stuff. When I did that and properly bore sized and used a powerhouse rag and all that stuff, I think I got a right around 1,700 shots.
Yeah.
Now, if you tune that and put the light rammer in it, open up the SFRs, turn your dwell down, tune the LPR, and all that stuff, I would say that like it's gonna be super close.
Yeah.
It might even be a little bit better, but they're gonna be within 100 shots of each other. So in my opinion, I think we wash it. That's kind of
if it's within 100. Yeah, if it's anything, if it's pushing 200, then that's different because it's a hopper.
Yeah.
100 shots. Yeah, that could literally just be the
that's
difference
that's less than 10%.
Yeah, that could be the difference if you didn't stay on the air fill long enough, kind of thing. So
Right,
yeah, I would say that. And then value.
So this is the question, Doug. 1750 for a CS3
Versus
okay?
1650 for the LV2.
16.
Oh, it's
for the
only
LV2.
16, so 150.
So, with that said, you know, which one are you going to choose and why? Which is the better value?
So I can tune my shot more. I have a potentially softer shot. Mm-hmm. I like the way the shot feels better on the LV2.
Toolless features.
Nearly completely toolless gun.
Yep.
Only downsides are not huge on the ergonomics.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Smaller guy, right? For the snake.
Only about 5'8". Yeah.
Or the two on the snake side.
I play either one, and I don't want to drag that thing around. That's
fair.
Peter has died enough in front of me that I've had to jump in for him. And
so then, does the size of this, put that in your hands, does the size of that, if you're interested in purchasing the one, are you going to spend the extra $150 to get the size difference and the ergonomic difference?
That might be worth it for me. That genuinely might be something that I consider as worth it. But I don't know, man. I kind of actually like the way the LV2 points more than that.
Do you really?
I kind of do.
Okay.
Which I'm not used to stack tube markers at all. But
yeah,
dude, I think for me the value is still with the LV2.
Okay.
You can do a lot more with it, and I like the shot on it. I would put up with the ergonomics.
Yeah.
For the LV2.
Yeah. So I've used both. I'm currently, to be transparent, I am using the CS3. And no, before anybody says anything, I did not pull this from inventory. I bought this one used, so...
You said that, bro.
What's that?
You told them at the beginning. They know.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Well, one more time. I didn't pull this from inventory, guys. So anybody that's got back order with us that's still watching this, I did not pull it. I actually found that on the used market because I like it so much. But so here's where I'm at with it. The value, in my opinion, is with the LV2. It's better. I like the shot more. It's got very similar features between the two. I really like the eye system on the CS3. Like, I know that's not a big deal to most people, but the wires drive me nuts.
Trying to put the whole thing back together.
Yeah, put all exactly. Whereas like this, you just pull it off, service the eyes, put it all back together. That's a big thing for me. But being able to service your HPR, your LPR, your battery, your eyes, all that stuff completely toollessly. The shot quality, in my opinion, is better.
Yep.
Paint handling's great. Efficiency's similar. I really do like the feel of the LV2. If the angle of the trigger frame was at a greater angle, I would probably be using the LV2. The only reason I'm using this is because when I pull up,
it just feels more natural.
It just feels more natural. But other than that, that's the only reason I'm using the CS3. So for me, the value is with the LV2. But to your point, Doug, for the size difference, a lot of people, I have seen quite a few people that have gotten their LV2s and they're like, I really like the gun, but the size was too much for me.
Yep. Which is funny because the Ego from back in the day wasn't a very big gun, right? Like it was still stacked to, but like it was compact. It was like not like a heavy thing or anything. So it's funny that that's now expanded.
Well, yeah, the LV2 is bigger than the freaking LV 1.6. Like I got a lot of people that are like or some people that are buying the LV 1.6s over the LV2s because of that. So. But then I've got people that freaking love their LV2s, and like for me, I like the feel of the LV2 better than the LV 1.6.
Yeah, I do too. That's just because they got rid of the AT pipe.
Yeah, but overall, value-wise, guys, they're both great. Like they're both Planet Eclipse products. They're gonna be awesome. I really enjoy what they did with the packaging and all that stuff.
Yeah, the new case is awesome.
Yeah,
the carrying handle,
not gonna go wrong.
Love that. So you can't really go wrong with either one. But I'm curious to know which one you guys kind of prefer. So definitely let us know in the comments. And like I said before, guys, when you're done watching, when this is all said and done, use the link in the description to pick up either one of these here from Punishers. We appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching, guys.
I'm so free.